let's go back to the journey you've been on. You said you tried a few businesses, you were in Australia, then you came back, had to go back to living with your parents. Run us through kind of the challenges you faced along that journey, and like share as much as you want about
Oh yeah.
how you landed
Well,
on kind of where you are now.
well, at the start, you just don't know what you're doing right or wrong. You know, you're just doing things. Like, because I didn't have a clue. Like, I went from an engineering, you're not taught in any way in school about how to do, what's going to work in business or how to run a business or how even to manage your emotions related to that. So I found, like, in hindsight, I was trying really hard, but I had no like checkpoint to say whether I was doing something right or wrong at the time because I had no previous experience about it. Whereas I think and I feel like that's why everyone has to go through a period of like it being, really shit for the first couple of years because you have nothing to contrast against that happened to you in the past. It's all fresh experiences and you're all doing new things. So you don't know what will work and what won't work. And there are so many different things that you can try. Like we had a container homes business as an example where we'd run Facebook ads. This was in Australia, and the idea was, oh, we'll install a container in your back garden so you don't have to do an extension instead of an extension, and it'll be dropped in a week, and everything will be great. Sounds great, load of interest. We spent loads of money on Google Ads, got loads of leads, but we just couldn't close any of the deals, um, because I was a 25-year-old, obviously. And then when I go and try and sign the contract, they could smell it off me that I had no idea what I was really talking about. You know what I mean? Thank God we didn't close any of the deals because if we did, it would have been a disaster because we had a partner to fulfill on, but like, who's to say what would have happened? You know what I mean? So we spent a lot of money doing that. We did do some like planning work and stuff like that, and that wasn't fun at all. Um, yeah, there was a couple of people who let down massively, and I entered I entered those deals with the best intentions, but I just could not fulfill on it. I just couldn't do it. So, yeah, they were experiences that I had like that kind of shaped how I think about things now. Like as we spoke before the call, like I back then I was new and I was really trying to prove myself. So I was like trying to take a big shot. Like we were always trying to sign $100,000 deals and you know take always looking for the big one and forget about the small deals. It was always the big one. And then I had two business partners as well. And like obviously then when you have two business partners, you have to share the profit to two other people. So that's 33%, 67% gone. And so you feel like you have to shoot big then because you're only getting a third of whatever's left after spend anyway. So that was all kind of just a recipe for disaster. Yeah, really, for me anyway, because it kind of locked me into this thing where I always had to shoot big. What I've learned since that, and now I'm staying as a small business, I'm more so thinking about how can I not as much get the revenue up, but it's like how can I stay profitable? How can I manage my cash flow? How can I make sure that I'm making more than I spend? And it might seem simple, but like not on a yearly basis, but like in this month, I want to make sure I've made a good bit more than I spend. Because I'm not a financial expert like yourself, but just to keep it super easy, I want to and have at least like a 70% gross profit at the end of every month. And if I haven't, then I'm probably doing something wrong. And that will limit me in some ways because that gives me less to reinvest in the business and so on. But I don't really care about that because I know that reinvesting in the business didn't go so well when I tried it in Australia, and so now I'm kind of learning from all that. But I suppose that's like these are the things you pick up as you go along. I've learned more about myself and everything. So I'll probably say the same in 5 years. I'm doing stuff now that I think is that I will think then is I look back on what I'm doing now and think I didn't have a clue. So that's probably a sign of progress, if anything. But yeah, all a bit of a journey, really. That's a bit of an insight into a few of the things I could say more, but yeah, that's good.